Dear students, good evening. Welcome to Law Excellence IAS. Let us do the editorial analysis for today, 29th November 2022. The first article for discussion, Khula ties with the Muslim clerics in knots. Let us try to understand what is Khula. You know that talaq is a process by which a Muslim man can divorce his wife. Similarly, a Muslim woman can divorce his husband through a process that is called Khula. This Khula has its origins said to be from Muhammad Prophet himself. In this case, present day if you observe the ulemas, they are not accepting the practice of Khula. In this scenario, a man is able to give divorce to woman, but woman is not in a position to give divorce to man. And second, if the man abandons the woman, then she has nowhere to go if her mother or father did not accept her. So that's why the situation of the woman becomes very vulnerable. This entire story, what it tells us, the religion in India or across the world is captured by certain figureheads or certain ulemas in the case of Islam or certain priests in the case of Hindus. So in this scenario, the religion has interpretations which are being confirmed by these ulemas. Because of that, a critical analysis of religion is not happening. In this scenario, every religion is not favorable to women. Every religion is captured by men. That's why the gender justice is critical for the survival of every religion. The patriarchal elements of every religion need to be liberated in their minds for gender justice. That is what is the objective over here. When we talk about uniform civil code also, one of the major reasons why uniform civil code suggested is for the reasons of gender justice. This is what we need to remember. The next, loss and damage decisions, pitfalls and promises. You know COP27 completed in Egypt. What is the major outcome of COP27? Loss and damages fund is being created. If you see the origin of this loss and damages fund, there is an alliance called Alliance of Small Island States. This is the one which has proposed for this. Developed countries were only interested in mitigation and adaptation, but not in the case of loss and damages. Today, realization of this loss and damages fund for climate-related disasters itself is a critical step forward. How to contribute towards this, how the countries can claim money from this, it is based on the decisions of a committee which is called a transitional committee. In this scenario, remember, by 2020, $100 billion fund per year shall be materialized, but it did not happen even today. It has been postponed now to 2023. When this fund will be realized is the question before us. The second, how the contributions have to be made. It means that polluters have to pay. The people who are responsible for greenhouse gases in atmosphere today, they have to contribute. In this case, a scientific analysis is necessary to prove the cause and effect between their contributions and climate damages today. Let us take, if a disaster has happened in Mexico, we shall be able to prove that the immediate cause of the disaster is United States of America and greenhouse gas release in USA. So this proof is the most difficult correlation which we are supposed to arrive at. Second is windfall taxes. When I say windfall taxes, let's put the rise in oil prices, crude oil prices, is giving petroleum companies huge profit margins, which we call it as windfall profits. In that case, on those profits, if we can impose taxes on fossil fuel companies, and we can use this money for the contribution of loss and damage fund. Second style which is suggested is through an insurance model. Let every infrastructure, life, biodiversity be insured, and any kind of damage or loss to it will be paid by the insurance companies. It means a kind of a market model which is suggested. But remember, these market models did not work in the case of this $100 billion fund, which we have already seen. The private sector contributions, which were expected to be close to 90%, did not even materialize for 10%. In this scenario, Germany has global shield scheme against the climate risks. This can be a right model to emulate, where the nation states have to take responsibility for contribution towards the loss and damages fund. That is the essence of this article. Still a nightmare for domestic violence survivors. So domestic violence, you know that women across the world, especially in Asia, face violence from womb to tomb. And there is perpetual dependency of women at every level of her life. So this is causing violence and grave injustice for their life. And also, their rights are enjoyments of rights, access to law or justice. Everything is interconnected with finances, and there is no financial autonomy or properties in the name of women. So the patriarchal societies, so these are majorly responsible for the loss of property, loss of economic independence, and also domestic violence against the women. Today, the state system talks about gender justice, gender equality, everything. But to what extent it is happening? Let us try to understand. 1/3 of women in India are subjected to domestic violence. Who is the common perpetrator of the domestic violence? Partner. Out of this, only 14% report the domestic violence to the police station. Is the police response favorable? No. Does this woman have support systems in the police station like counseling? No. And added to that, the woman who was subjected to domestic violence worries about the safety of herself and also her children and future of her children, because she do not have the necessary financial resources to upbring her children. So that's the reason why they don't report most of the cases of the violence. Though we have a strong law, the law name is Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005, still we are unable to provide the necessary protections to the women. That is the point we have to note over here. Next, same rights. This is about LGBTQ plus rights. If you see these rights, there is Navtej Singh Johar case. Supreme Court of India, what it said is, homosexuality is not a criminal activity. Section 377 is being decriminalized, removed, and homosexuality is decriminalized. You also have the famous Puttaswamy judgment, where privacy is stated to be integral to Article 21 of the Constitution. In this scenario, they are decriminalized. What's next? It means same-sex marriages, can they be allowed? Are they legalized? No. In this scenario, a case has come before the Supreme Court on legalization of the same-sex marriages under the Special Marriages Act. And second thing is, the rights which are being enjoyed or benefits which are being enjoyed by the heterosexuals, they also need to be extended to these same-sex marriages. For example, adoption of children. Adoption of the children is not allowed for the same-sex couple. So they are also seeking these kind of benefits for them too. So what shall be our opinion in this? If you are a liberal, you can pose your opinion like this. As the societies transform, relationships change, then constitutional rights and values need to be extended to every person, irrespective of his nature. That can be the good conclusion whenever this kind of questions comes us. Time for change. You know, China is strongly implementing zero COVID policy. Because of this, strict lockdowns are continuing today. This is leading to the loss of livelihoods. In this scenario, what is the way out? Why China is going for these lockdowns? Because the vaccine is not complete, or vaccination is not complete. Only 40% of the people greater than 80 years of age were vaccinated. So in this scenario, the lockdown is stated as a reason for stopping the spread of the virus. The easiest way is increase the vaccination coverage that will stop the virus rather than causing this anguish. How FIFA is using SAOT. So what is this SAOT? On the offset, right, this is a technology to find out goals, etc. on the offset, camera-based technology. From the prelims perspective, SAOT refers to what? In which sport it is related to. From that perspective, just remember this technology as it is in the news. So thank you very much.